One, two, three, four.
Hey, yo, whoa, hey, whoa, oh. Welcome back. Breakfast with Brothers. Brothers.
Breakfast. We're having breakfast with
Breakfast
our
Brothers.
brothers. If you're not having breakfast with your brothers, it's probably because you don't have any or you have all sisters. But that's okay. Today, if you don't have any brothers or sisters or anyone to have breakfast with, you can enjoy it with Ian and I. So think of this
Yeah,
as
you could be our brothers. We could be your brothers. I'm sorry.
you could live vicariously through the brothers breakfast over here. So come join us. We're not eating any breakfast right now, but just think that we are. Just imagine pancakes at our side, a nice heaping stack of syrup all over it, and maybe an egg or two. Never know.
Imagine the sun shining through Zach's window, glistening softly through the glass, lighting your day up. Just imagine that.
Bringing you ever closer. Yes, exactly. To that imagination of your existence in the Breakfast with Brothers realm. And here we are.
You're
No, but
here.
seriously, we're not even talking about breakfast today. So hopefully you guys can get off of that as quickly as you came into it. What are we going on about today, Ian? Put the people on.
Damn, dude, I really thought we were talking about breakfast today.
Damn.
Psych. Psych. We're talking about Christmas.
Christmas.
Critimas. Chrysler, if you will.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That video always comes up about 24 times on my feed every time December rolls around. Sometimes it even jumps into November, and I'm just like, wow, we're starting early.
Yeah, sometimes it just pops up randomly, and it's I mean it's a vibe. I mean, like obviously it pops up in December. I've even caught it like sometimes like October, November. And I mean, like everyone kind of goes crazy because it's like, well, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and I'm one of those people. Um,
Yes, the Thanksgiving skip around. It's like, what?
like there's some people that put up like, go out and get a tree right after Thanksgiving. That's normal, okay? I'm okay
Hmm.
with that because then you have your Christmas tree for like the whole month of December, and it's nice. Um, but like I also know people who get their Christmas tree like the week of Thanksgiving or sometimes even earlier.
Well, to be fair, I have heard mostly that the group of people you talk about that get it right after Thanksgiving. That's their tradition, like instead of the Black
Yeah.
Friday vibe and then going out and catching sales and crazy things like that, they'll just go and get that jump on the Christmas tree, which makes sense. I feel like there's plenty of traditions around Christmas that can be far-fetched or just like, wait, why do you do that? But the Christmas tree one, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, well, you're beating like the rush of other people, taking all the good trees. You're getting it out of the way early. Like you said, you have it for a whole month of December. But to be fair, I will ride with you on the fact that if you're getting it before Thanksgiving, it's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you skip a holiday? What happened? Did you have like a quick brain fart? What happened
Are you not thankful? Like, what's wrong with you?
there? Skip the
Like,
thanks.
yeah, what are you doing? Are you just not thankful for your like family, the food on the table, anything? Are you not thankful for anything?
I'm painting a scene in my head where you have the Thanksgiving table set up with everybody hanging around it, everyone saying grace or some form of whatever your religion does as far as like sharing thanks between your family and the food that's there and whatever. And then in the background, there it is, just a very decorated tree with the lights all just glaring over the dinner table.
Yeah, you got grandpa sitting at the end of the table saying, I'm thankful for my toes, my arms, my family.
Meanwhile, you got the train going around the bottom of the Christmas tree. All the lights are brighter than every light in the room.
The
Now,
entire
all
time.
jokes aside, it is hilarious. I haven't ever met a family that's done that, but to each their own. Are you saying you know a family? You've met a family?
I've met some people in college that have said like their family puts up Christmas trees like before November, like or not before November. I'm sorry, that's way
Before
too way
November.
too, that's way too early. It's usually like the week of Thanksgiving or like a week before Thanksgiving they put it up because they love their Christmas tree so much. Like Christmas would be their like favorite holiday with their family. And it's like I
Huh.
get it. If you want to do that, you do whatever your heart pleases, but don't invite me over to Thanksgiving dinner at your house because I'm gonna throw shade at you and your Christmas tree. That's
I
all I'm
I I
saying.
I do totally understand loving Christmas and everything about it and that vibe, but the Christmas tree early thing would I can't say it's gonna offset me. Like I wouldn't get pissed about it. Like I'm not gonna walk in and be like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding?" Like there's not a chance that I
What
would ever
is
be.
this? What is this?
I don't get offended by a lot of things. I feel like, there are more days pass by where I'm occasionally just like, no, it is what it is. And then I think that thing that exists with Christmas tree coming in early, I would just be like, well, that's new. Yeah, it's just like I've never seen that one before. No.
What?
Oh, my
I
connection is
lost you
lagging
for a
now.
second.
I don't know what all you
Yeah, I
heard of my
completely
rant.
lost you. I heard nothing of your rant.
Did you hear me go? No.
Yeah, right at the end. That's the only thing I heard.
I
That's all right.
was
We'll
more
leave it
or
a
less.
mystery for myself.
It's okay. I was to summate. I was more or less saying if I've ever gone through the days where I give less and less of a damn about something, that would be the situation where I'd walk in and be like, "Oh, a Christmas tree's up." Whatever. I would never, be like, "Wow, that's just silly." I just don't think I would care enough.
See, like I don't really get offended very easily at all.
Mm,
Um, unless someone like comes at me about like something specific. But like I don't really get offended other than like I wouldn't even use the word offended. It's kind of just like I like a question I would ask myself like why why is this where it's at right now? And that's kind of like in the scenario with like Christmas. It's like, I'll walk into like a like I don't know, just a shopping mall or like Target or something like that. It's
right, right.
like 2 weeks before like Thanksgiving, and like I'm hearing Christmas music playing over the speakers, and it's like, why? Why are we doing this right now? Or it's like the smallest things will be like so offensive to me. It's like that is so stupid. Why do they do that this way? Why are they doing it like this? Why isn't it like this? That's such a stupid. And I go on for years on like over something so tiny that like has no impact on my life whatsoever. I don't know. I'm
Exactly.
just
A
like that.
great way to put it, with the minor impact of it actually holding any imposition, like in our day to day. It's just one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, like why are they playing music so early? I think I've come a long way to understand that once we get into that Christmas vibe and that Christmas spirit and you start seeing Christmas sales, it just happens that way. Things erupt and it's just, oh, the music's back on. Oh, the Christmas trees are being sold. Oh, this and that. So I feel like it never ends.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like it constantly goes on, and it seems like it gets like earlier and earlier every single year. Um, Not that I don't like Christmas. I love Christmas. It's like my favorite time of the year because, well, now it's like I get to see all my family and spend time with them, and like getting gifts is nice, but truthfully, I just like seeing everyone. That's my favorite part of Christmas. Um,
Yeah, but
but
see,
it's
that's
just
wholesome
like,
comparably to other people who are just like, yes, how many gifts can I get this year? Or how much money can I rack up? Of course, like, look forward to those things. Like, getting gifts is really nice, getting money is really nice. But of
yeah,
course, don't lose sight of all the enjoyment and the wholesomeness and the excitement that brings out of seeing the family that you like. There's plenty of us that have family that we just hope that we never have to see again, or that we just don't have a close relationship with enough to the point where it's just like,
right.
oh yeah, Christmas. Hopefully it never gets to that point where there's not at least 1 to 2 to 3 people in your life that you're pumped to see. I hope it always exists like that. I would feel sad for the people who, of course, there's plenty of people that are my friends and people that are older than me that they don't have their parents around anymore. And if they do have a relationship with anyone that's close to them, cousins, aunts, uncles, and stuff like that, it's few and far between. So I think about the blessings we have to still be able to have our parents around and celebrate with them, and then also the fact that we're close with like a lot of our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, nieces, nephews, etc. So looking on that, you bring a great point to the table where it's like everyone should remember what Christmas is all about, and it should be spending the time with the ones you love, sharing gifts with the one you love, hopefully, and of course, even sometimes Christmas doesn't even have to be about all gifts, especially for people. There's plenty of people I know that can, barely afford any crazy gifts. It's more of the stuff that people create and make and put together and, imagine something, that just, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's see, forms into something, something that, man, manifests, I guess is a good word. For example, like when you and I used to make like ornaments for mom and dad out of, cheap little Dollar Tree items, those memorialized items have meant more of the world to our mom, in this case, hanging on a Christmas tree than any physical gift that we could have ever gotten her. So I think about those moments too, where even the cheapest gifts have the most creativity and imagination within them that, is all a part of that Christmas joy, that everyone gets to spread.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like mom still hangs those ornaments up. She still has them up on the tree every single year. She's got a
Yeah.
whole little like baggie of all of like mine, yours, and Brad's still. Um, and it's I don't know. It's just like I've always liked Christmas because I've gotten gifts, but as I've gotten older now, it's more of a time to see family, and it's the same thing with Thanksgiving. It seems I'm always the one that's extremely far away from everyone. Uh,
Right.
Maybe that's just the way life has taken me. But living in Nantucket now, it's a trek. It's a trek and a half, like a full day of travel to get home. Um, just through everything that I got to do. So it's not like I can just get up and take the weekend to go home and see family. It's like I got to take a day off of work to travel, go home, you know, obviously enjoy my time at home, but then it's like, oh, then I have to do the drive right again. Point I'm getting at is that um, while gifts are nice and I love getting gifts, I also love giving gifts. That's like another thing that I love about Christmas is getting my friends and family gifts as well. Um, it's just nice to be around people that I want to be around. And that's not to say where I'm at now isn't like that, but everyone's got their own family they'd like to see and they haven't seen in a while. I mean, hell, I live with the guys I work with, so it's like
Right.
we all want to go home and celebrate with our families and see each other, see all our lovely family members, parents, brothers, sisters, whatever it is. I think it's just like as you get older, it's just like it turns more into that. And sure, there's older people now, maybe even older than me too, that are still spoiled and only want gifts and only look forward to Christmas in that manner of getting money from their relatives. Um, but I think those are few and far in between in comparison to the people who actually enjoy Christmas for what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say being able to think back to those moments where you get to spend the time and create the memories are the coolest part. Well, because even now, like thinking about how we started talking about the ornaments, mom will still gift us some ornaments to hang on the tree that Meg and I get. And I think about the future of us having kids and stuff like that and celebrating that same tradition. And I wanted to turn this into a direction of what Meg was telling me the other day about how our tradition of hanging a Christmas tree with all of the, or I guess, sorry, I should say putting up a Christmas tree, hanging on all the custom ornaments, also next to pre-bought ornaments that have been pre-made or glass blown or whatever it is, plastic, porcelain, uh, and then using the colorful lights like the rainbow form. They call it tacky Christmas, and I was just like tacky, and then I was like, oh, I mean, I guess, the Christmas tree is it's a little randomized. Obviously there's no set color pattern. None of the lights are hung on in any like serious like specific form or anything. And then I was trying to think like of the immediate comparison to what would be like a classy Christmas or something like that. And then she showed me, pictures of what the nominations of like the sectoring was. And classy Christmas, all your ornaments are the same color. You have the same style of ornaments. You either choose square, round, or like triangular, prismatic, whatever. And then you have your lights hung like specifically, like floor to ceiling, vertically, or if you're doing horizontal, they're like perfectly around each layer of your tree. And then also classy Christmas also says for the most part you're using like a preformed tree, something that doesn't have all the originality of going out and cutting your own, or even if it's pre-cut, the originality of a real tree. And I'm just like, that Christmas sounds awful. Like, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
get the idea of trying to stay organized, keep your place clean, and also looking for a specific like aesthetic. But then I also love the idea of the tacky Christmas where it's like the homemade ornaments, the different colors, the rainbow, effect from all the lights. And then, of course, having the real tree is huge. I love getting a real tree. The smell, cleaning up is obviously not the best thing ever, but just having it around, it's continuing the tradition of what we came up in.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't think that type of Christmas tree would be tacky. I get in the sense of like the word, sure, but
Yes,
like
right.
in reality, it would be more, I don't know, more, it would be more traditional, more homey, more comforting. I would think like a classy Christmas tree is nice in the sense of like how you create it and like what you do to it, making it almost like perfect. But who I don't know. In my opinion, I wouldn't want a perfect Christmas tree. I like the life to a tree. I would want to hang all the ornaments I've gotten from mom over the years, like on a tree. I've been waiting for
It's
the
got
day that I
character.
do. Once I finally get my own place, it's like now I know where I could put all the ornaments.
Yeah,
But
dude, hanging up the ones we have, it's just like, wow, I knew I was going to use these one day. It's really nice to have a real tree. Super nice.
yeah, but exactly it. It's like having a real tree is just like a. It's not very hard to keep a real tree. Like all you have to do is just add water to it like twice a
Yes,
day,
yeah.
maybe three
Yeah.
times, depending on how much is drinking up the water. Um, because obviously you still have a living thing on a stand in your house.
Oh,
It's a
right.
tree.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Um, but I don't know. Uh, I think that's the fun part because one, you get the fresh smell of like whatever tree you cut down, whether it's like a what is it, balsam fir. Um,
Balsam, Fraser, Douglas
you can
fir,
get blue spruce.
blue spruce, yeah.
Yeah, balsam fir. I'm tired, you can tell. Um, but I mean, the point is that you get that smell throughout your house, and it's like
So nice.
I don't know,
So
it's
nice.
nice. It's like I don't know. We grew up on it, so I guess we're a little biased with it. But for those who haven't really had the chance and have the chance now, I know we're approaching Christmas here shortly. But even if it's next year, like try it out. Like if you have the space for it, you have the ability to get rid of it easily. I mean, Zach, for Christ's sake, is in a city, and he can get rid of his tree. He just probably throws it in the dumpster.
Actually, we've been planting, I should say, not we, me. Once the tree comes down, I'll there's not many like needles left on it. It's pretty barren. It's nothing crazy, but of course, there's still needles discolored, dying out. Take it down the stairs, make a complete mess of the staircase, and then I drag it around the corner, and we have like a little space out back in our apartment buildings that's just um kind of overgrown viney area. And through the winter, it's just a bunch of like that viney mess of branches and stuff like that. So this will now be third Christmas that I'm gonna plant a nice tree carcass in the corner, and every time I go back to it, I try to find the other ones. I can still see the one from last year. The one previous to that has kind of broken down, and the branches have broken apart and everything. But it's going into what I'm deeming the Christmas tree graveyard. So thankfully, not going in the dumpster, but also not replanting it. They are well far gone by the time we're done with it, and I have to imagine that that's one of the reasons why people who don't get real trees avoid them, because they think they're taking away from the forest in some capacity, or they're doing harm by cutting down these trees. And then to naysay that, I say that most of these trees are, if you're getting pre-cut, they're already cut down. So it's too late. And if you're going and cutting your own tree, all of those trees were grown with the intent to be cut down. And if they weren't cut down the year that you went and cut it, it will probably be cut down the next, or it will get too big to be cut down, and it will just be added to the list of trees that are well beyond the limits, of that standard Christmas tree vibe, and they're just left to grow. So there's not
Right.
really any imbalance. If anything, it's perfectly balanced. The trees live on if you don't cut them. If they do get cut, then whatever. More trees will get planted. Who knew? And then if you are not doing the cutting, there's probably another 10 dozen trees that were pre-cut, that aren't actually going to get picked up at all. And they're just going to get tossed. So realistically, where do you stand?
Well, what a great thing about what you do, Zach, where you just huck it into a pile in the back there where all like the vines and such are, um, is actually good because of the small animals that live in like cities. Um, so think of this, we call it rabbitat. Um,
The
so like we'll cut down trees like out on the job here, and if it's like a leave and lay, we'll like tuck it in the woods and kind of like hide it. Um, Try to make it look a little nice so it's not just like sticking straight up or anything like that.
Yeah.
And this is like with smaller stuff, so on and so forth. But we'll put it into like areas, and it's just like okay, we'll cut it up, push it out, and like pile it up in some stances where it kind of looks like the forest floor.
Hmm.
And it's actually great for rabbits, squirrels, raccoons in some instances, um, and any other like small vermin like mice, voles, anything. Like they'll make that their home. They'll go crazy for that stuff. So even having like a little spot like you do, it's kind of like, okay, this kind of gives back to things that are living around me that are outside as well. Um,
Interesting. That's cool. Creating a little mini environment. I would rather put that there, and I mean, I'll go out there a lot and see a lot of trash and stuff that's not like been thrown there specifically, but trash from around the city that that blows over here or falls out of the dumpsters and stuff when they're picking things up. And it's like
right.
it's tough when it doesn't get picked up a lot. Every now and again, I'll pick up some trash when I'm like headed to take out my recycling and trash or whatever. But I'm also, of course, not going out of my way to pick up all of it, and it gets bad, occasionally. And then other times there'll be other people that pick up. So for everyone that does their part of the touch, if I can go ahead and throw a tree back there, and well, eventually it'll be good for, I'm sure, fertilizer as the tree breaks down and meshes into like little tinier pieces that have broken down and decomposed and stuff. But of course, hell, if it's gonna make this habitat, then I'm all for it. That's cool. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the same idea though too. It's like if it breaks down, then you're also feeding like the fungi's.
Perfect.
Like you're doing even more for other organisms living out there. And while it's like such a small spot for you, anyways, you're in a city.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
in most cases, people just chuck their stuff into the woods. Doesn't hurt the woods. It's kind of like you're giving back like what you were, what you took. So it's gotta go out somehow. And
Yeah.
unless you got a chipper, then I mean I don't know. I mean, because then that would be pretty cool seeing like basically a completely dead pine tree in total being launched into a chipper and just
Probably
into
wouldn't do
dust.
much as far as like coming out of the other end. Most of it's already dead and gone, and probably not too much life left as far as like seeing any good parts coming out of the other end of the chipper.
Oh yeah, it'd probably basically be like dust and like a few wood chips
Yeah,
from the
dust.
like from the actual log of the tree. Like that would be the only wood chip you're getting. The branches would basically be dust. They'd be eviscerated.
That's hilarious. Well, regardless of the excitement of Christmas trees, if you're the type of person who doesn't use a real tree in their Christmas endeavors, or doesn't get a tree at all, then by all means, I know some people who rock the Charlie Brown vibe, with the little baby tree branch that that ducks over with one ornament on it. That's of course, I'm always thinking of the bah humbug type of Christmas vibe. It's where like, come on, like get in the spirit, like what gives. I get and feel for some of those people because they exist in that moment where we're talking about like, oh, the Christmas early, the Christmas music is back on early, or oh my gosh, every store's decorated out the wazoo with Christmas decorations. Like I get to an extent the bah humbug vibe because it is very overwhelming and it's pushed very hard. And of course, we're not often seeing other holidays mixed in there with the decorations and the music and everything. But of course, on my side, I will always be down for singing a little Mariah Carey, or I'll always be down for throwing a tree in our apartment. Uh, I still haven't hung a wreath on our door yet. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe I'll have a house where I need to do it. But of course, as time goes on, I'm sure I'll start practicing certain and many other traditions that I haven't in the past. It's just one of those things, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I mean, Christmas is however you want to celebrate it. And, obviously those who don't celebrate Christmas, I'm sure you celebrate, many other holidays. We got Hanukkah, we got Kwanzaa and stuff, but we'll get to that in a second. But Christmas is however you would like to celebrate it. And like you said, there's going to be those Scrooges out there who just absolutely hate Christmas, and that's okay. Like some people just don't like it. And to each their own. If you
Oh
want to
yeah,
do that, don't launch it at other people. Just don't celebrate Christmas. Who cares? If
yeah.
it's
It's
not
it's
your thing,
chill if
don't.
you're rocking and rolling. Hopefully you're not bringing other Christmas cheer down. Now I'm not going to sit here
That's
and
what I
say
mean.
get in the mood, dude. Like, what's wrong? Like, the only thing I think that will change those people's mood are, classic Christmas cookies, or maybe some eggnog. I've known to been a downer of eggnog in the past. Um, but no, speaking of cookies, if you had a favorite go-to cookie of all time, well, it doesn't have to be a Christmas cookie. Cookies, I guess, are just more Christmassy vibing, because people will be like, "Oh my gosh, Christmas cookies," or Secret Santa Christmas cookie exchange, whatever it ends up being. What is your all-time fave come around Christmas for the cookie vibes?
Well, dude, you probably already know my favorite, and truthfully,
Yeah,
most
me,
people
but nobody else.
probably. Yeah, oh, I know, but I'm saying in the sense like you already know like what I'm gonna say. Um,
Wait,
and
don't say
like
it.
no one.
Let me guess, and then you can explain.
Okay.
Tricolor.
No, but that's a close second. That's a close second. That was like literally the other one I was thinking of. Like tricolor is top tier. I love tricolor cookies.
I shouldn't guess
Um,
again then. You can go ahead and continue on.
so it's not necessarily like a cookie. And our mother makes them for Christmas, and she does it every single year. There's only a certain amount of that she makes, and they go out really fast. Like everyone
Oh
likes
yeah.
them.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, you should have known this one. Um, so they're called Christmas wreaths. And so what they are is like, I mean, like, should I tell them what it is or should I leave it like a secret?
No, you could put the homies on. Absolutely.
Okay. So what they are, it's like literally, shaped as a Christmas wreath. You have the hole in the center, obviously. It goes straight through, like nothing like holding it. It's just a ring of corn flakes that are covered in marshmallow.
Mm.
Um, and so what our mother does is she adds food dye to it, so it turns the marshmallow green, and then you mix in your cornflakes and such, and then reach in, you put butter on your fingertips, reach in, grab it, you can make your like circle wreath, you can make whatever shape, you can make triangles, squares, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. But they're in the shape of Christmas wreaths for Christmas, of course. And then you add like she always adds what is it, Frank's Red Hots?
Yeah, yeah. Or I don't know if it's not Frank's. It's just the Red Hot candies.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Frank's is
I'm thinking
hot
the
sauce.
Tab yeah, I'm thinking the Tabasco. I'm
Frank's
sorry.
hot sauce on these
I'm
wreaths.
I'm tired as all hell. Um,
Frank's.
but Frank's Red Hots. Red Hots on them as like the what is it?
the cinnamony, like spicy flavor. Not
I know.
spicy, but
What are they supposed to represent?
oh the oh boy, I don't know. Is that holly? No, no. What is it? I got nothing, dude. I got nothing.
I want to. I want to say they're berries. What are they? Halle berries or something like that?
Isn't Halle Berry a person?
That's what I was thinking.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. I was saying a bunch of wrong things while my Wi-Fi was coming back there, but I knew in my head that if the world ever heard it, that they would be like, "What is he saying?" Are they like cranberries? I know the wreaths when they make them, they just add things to it. You know, like when they're custom made, it's like a bunch of, it'll be Douglas or Fraser fir pieces of the branches stuck together and then funneled into that wreath, and then they just add pieces of holly. They add pieces of, what looks like cranberry. I don't know if it's actually cranberry, dried probably, and then some other random stuff. I've seen pine cones. Um, I've seen what the heck else have I seen?
Oh no,
Wow,
I'm dumb. I'm
I
dumb,
don't know.
dude. It's yeah, Halle Berry. I was close though.
That's
Again, I'm tired. They're hollies. They're off of
that's the
holly
first thing I said.
berries.
So I was right, son of a bitch.
Oh,
Huh?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. You broke out. I couldn't hear
No, it
you
was
at
my
that point.
Wi-Fi.
But
Yeah, I said holly. But so holly has a
yeah,
berry, and they're specifically the holly berry that goes on the wreath. Is that what you're saying?
yes. So I'm pretty sure that's usually what's used. I mean, I believe holly was used as a wreath as one point at one point.
Hmm.
Um, because their leaves themselves, while they have small thorns on them,
Yeah.
they're very like stiff leaves, so you
Right.
can like shape them how you would like. I believe that was one type of wreath. Like the other ones are usually made out of like um, what is it? Probably some sort of coniferous tree, whichever one you want. Because I know they make them out of spruce, make them out of
Yeah.
cedar,
Fir branches, everything. Cedar,
yeah,
balsam.
fir,
Absolutely.
balsam. They make them everything. There's no like specific type. So, but I believe hollies were also used to make wreaths, and
Hmm.
the idea that but they were also used obviously for what is it? The kiss under the holly, um,
Yes. Right. 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 Right.
the mistletoe. Couldn't think of it.
Mistletoe. But aside from the
Hmm.
excitement of Holly Berry, the honestly, I'm not really sure what the Red Hot candies, uh, why they were the first choice that Mom had for me. Thinking in my head, and I think she's done this before. I would go the sweet direction and use like pieces of maraschino cherries or something like that because I always eat the hot candies first because I don't like them like when I'm chewing through the sweet marshmallow with the cornflakes, and then it's just
Hmm.
like a little off-putting. I'm not a huge cinnamon candy guy, so I'll eat all of them first, and then I'll eat the wreath.
Yeah, no, I mean like I enjoy the Red Hots personally, but
Mm.
I still do the same. I still do the same thing. Um, am I a huge like? Can I eat a bunch of them? No, I'm not gonna sit there and eat like Red Hots. But
No,
do I enjoy like a Red Hot or like the what are they called? They're like the cinnamon balls. Um, something else, whatever the candy they are. I think it's still a Red Hot. I think. Uh,
probably.
either way, either way, I enjoy them. Um, it's just like they're kind of like once they're on top of the marshmallow cornflakes and such, they seem to harden a little bit.
Mm.
Um, so it's like I'll take those off, eat them because I'm not gonna chomp down on the cornflakes and break a tooth in the meantime.
Break a tooth. Yeah,
Um,
seriously.
but like still otherwise a very good cookie. If you can consider it a cookie, it's more like a treat. Like I wouldn't say it's a cookie, but if I had to choose like a favorite treat, that would definitely be it. But I would consider it a cookie. We always have them with cookies and such.
It is. It is more treat wise. I guess it's like the substitute of a Rice Krispie treat. Like if you weren't using cornflakes, you'd Rice Krispie to do something similar. But so
Yeah.
we'll go treat, but cookie style for Christmas. Regardless, still answers my question. I'm not going to override your inability to land on a specific cookie thing. That was just every time Christmas comes around, that's one of the big things. Like cookies are in and around some type of Secret Santa exchange for cookie bins. There's also super amounts of people doing fundraisers that involve bake sales, and cookies are just a big thing, especially around Christmas. And then me and Meg here will make our fair share of cookies out to plenty. So for me, answering on that, I have, of course, already guessed my favorite, and it's by far the tricolor cookie because they're insane. And I'm not really sure why. I'm pretty sure that cookie paste that makes up the middle of it is God, I don't know why I can't think of it. I used to know what it was called. Now I couldn't tell you. But it's
Well, dude,
basically just
it's like a cake, right?
it's like cakey. It's not a cake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cookie dough-ish, I guess. Um, man, I used to remember what the hell it was called. It might be like almond paste or something like that. Point is, this stuff is colored red, green, and yellow, and sometimes it's more pinkish, but it's like
I was gonna say it
Christmassy
comes
colors.
out pink, yeah.
And then in between each layer of the red, pinky looking, green and yellow pieces are like cherry or raspberry or strawberry filling, like artificial filling usually, and then it's coated in chocolate, and then it's just sliced up, like made in a giant Snickers bar shape, and then sliced into little bite-sized pieces. Absolutely insane. If you haven't ever had tricolor cookies, go to the store right now, buy yourself 6 dozen because you're going to finish 5 tonight, and make sure you bring that last dozen for your family. But for real, um, back when Mr. Cookie was still open in Long Island, no idea if it existed anywhere else. No idea. Only ever knew it
Rest in
existed on
peace,
Long Island.
Mr. Cookie.
R.I.P. Mr.
Rest in
Cookie.
peace.
Shout out. Made the best tricolor cookies by far. And of course, they had 36 other types of cookies that were incredible. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure we'll talk about another cookie here in a moment. But the tricolors were by far just something that I got put onto. And I was immediately like, give me 14 more. So that's my
Give me
vote for
two
sure.
more. Give me two more.
Who
She's
made
good.
these? Who made these?
No, yeah, definitely. Like I said, it was my second go-to. Um, like that would be my like all-time favorite if it wasn't for
By,
the Christmas wreaths.
by far.
Um, yeah, like without a doubt, top tier. It can be enjoyed outside of Christmas as well.
$100.
Does not have to be with Christmas, but it just goes well with Christmas. Um, top tier, legendary, if you will.
No, I will. I will. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But
So
before we go
we wanna.
to cookie lore, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say I think we should give a little love to our friends over for Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and
Show the
maybe
Jewish realm some love. What do we got for them? I know you pulled up some fun facts. So I'd love to hear these facts.
yeah. So Zach and I, of course, celebrate Christmas, but for those who might who might celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, we wanted to get a little facts, get a little facts in here, and obviously, please do not hate on us. We do not celebrate these holidays. We just wanted to give a little love to those who do. Um,
Shout out
so
to the Hanukkah celebrators. I got friends.
yeah, yeah. So do I, for that matter. Um, but I never really knew what was going on for Hanukkah. I never really asked or looked into it. I understand the concept, but I never really like thought about what they be doing. So here's some facts about Hanukkah. Meaning the word Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew. If anyone who speaks Hebrew, fact check us, please, and let us know if that's the truth. I'd like to know. Um, Hanukkah lasts for 8 nights, and I think it starts, what would we say, right after Christmas, the day after Christmas, right?
I
This
think yeah.
year. Yeah, it starts the day after Christmas this year. Um, Traditional Hanukkah foods are fried, such as latkes, jelly donuts, and blintzes. This is to celebrate the miracle of oil that kept the menorah lit for 8 nights. Interesting. Okay. History behind it, Hanukkah celebrates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem during the 2nd century BC. The holiday commemorates the Maccabees, a group of Jewish rebels who reclaimed the temple from the Greek Syrians. Interesting. Okay.
I wonder if there's some
Gifts.
people who
Gift.
leave the menorah lit for the entire 8 days of Hanukkah. Because it's impressive, one, if the candle's staying lit that long, and two, that your house doesn't light on fire as well because you've left candles unattended.
Well, I know some friends who have like electronic candles now. Like they don't
Yeah.
light them like physically, so they can actually have like the candles lit. But I'm sure there's people out there that do still light their menorahs. I feel like that's not too far-fetched. They probably have a certain spot for it.
You know what? I
Um,
bet you it's the
is
equivalent
it?
of us
Yeah, I can
having a real
imagine.
tree versus a fake tree. Menorah with real
Yeah.
candles versus the electronic candles.
I mean, most people would probably switch the electronic candles just for safety reasons, like if
Oh,
you're in a normal
100%. Yeah,
house.
that's extremely unsafe. Absolutely.
But I feel like I'm sure there's people out there that still light their menorah, um, and keep them lit. Though it would prove interesting to keep something lit like that if you're just using regular candles. Um, like I feel like then you would have to have like oil candles at that point to keep them
Yeah,
lit
that
for
would
that
last
long.
forever. Yeah, because it would melt extremely quickly if the first candle you lit had to last another 7 days after that. That would be wow of a candle. It would be like, where can I buy these? That type of thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like that would be interesting. It'd be interesting to know to see if people actually do like light their menorahs, um,
Great. Now we're going to ask around.
rather
If
than
anyone's
just
listening to
using
this episode
electric
in the
ones.
future, please send us some feedback about whether or not your menorah is the existential burn of an 8-day Hanukkah celebration, or if, the one thing I'm thinking, they light the first candle, a couple hours go by, they put it out before bed, and then on night two, they light both, the first and then the second candle, a couple hours go by, put it out before bed, and they repeat that for the rest of the days. Now that would be my next assumption. Of course, I have no idea. Give us that feedback.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know about Hanukkah, guys. We're interested. We're
Mhm.
intrigued. We'd like to know more. But I got a couple other facts left here, and we'll finish up with that, and then Zach will take over. So
Perfection.
we got gifts. Gift giving is a common Hanukkah tradition. In many Jewish families, adults give children coins, such as chocolate coins or cash.
Mhm.
Interesting. The culture behind it. Hanukkah has become absorbed into the widespread culture of gift giving and holiday cheer because of its proximity to Christmas. Okay. I guess because it lands around Christmas every year, or at least like a week before, or like the middle of December, whatever it might be. Um, that kind of makes sense, though. I can understand that, and they've just kind of followed suit with that idea. Um, at least probably within the U.S., I can see that. And that's it. That's the facts I got. I didn't want to get too in depth, but I also didn't want to leave out important facts. Obviously, we have some bangers like Dreidel, the Dreidel song. Love
Bangers.
when that comes on.
Dude, like,
Goes crazy.
as soon as you were talking about, well, between this with the dreidel song and then the gold coins, it immediately brought me back to elementary school when we would go through like little dreidel games, and then we would play for the gold coins and stuff like that, and we could, eat them as our snack and whatever. And it was kind of just like the tiniest insight of like, Hanukkah gifting and, like the whole idea of lighting the menorah and the representation and stuff like that. And of course, it was, kind of hand in hand with going through like the Christmas, the little parties we had in school. Because I felt like there would be some days where we, color like Frosty the Snowman, and then we talk about Santa Claus, and then the next day we color a menorah or, something of that sort, or we'd color the symbols on the dreidel, and then we'd also play the games, spinning the dreidel and stuff like that. So we got a little
Yeah,
bit of
that
involved.
was with Mrs. Lieberman, um,
Mm.
who is the mother of a friend of mine, and they celebrate Hanukkah, and she would fill in some info that obviously a majority of people No, I shouldn't say a majority, but a good amount of people within the U.S. obviously celebrate Christmas or don't celebrate Christmas and don't really celebrate anything, whatever they choose to do. But obviously, you have people who celebrate Hanukkah, celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm not really sure what other holidays will be celebrated around now. Um, I don't know if there is
Like
anything.
like weeks before Christmas, you're saying?
No, I mean just around this time, like between I guess between the month of December and January, if there's any holidays celebrated in a similar fashion to us. That I don't know. Um,
Like with the one day a year type thing where it's centered around like the Jesus' birthday type thing, like that vibe.
maybe within that realm, or just a holiday celebrated around this time. More than likely around, I don't know, I guess more than likely just around like Christmas time for us.
I mean, I know we
Not
still have
really any,
Kwanzaa excitement to talk about, but that more
right.
exists similar to how Hanukkah is with it seems like an 8 day celebration, roughly.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, like, I'm just saying in general, not even the sense of like having to match why we celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Hanukkah celebrates for a different reason, and I'm sure Kwanzaa celebrates for a different reason. Um, I'm just curious if there's any other holidays that we don't know about or didn't know about that are celebrated around this time as well
I know
in different
Canadian
parts of the
Boxing
world.
Day is something that happens, and I thought for some reason it was like late November or December. I I think I might be extremely wrong there. Um, but realistically, as far as like ending the year in and around December of some type of celebration in that regard, um, I know back in October, like was Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and I think
Hmm.
somewhere within that there was Ramadan. The fasting for the 40 days. Um, but I don't know if that really has any type of inclination in and around, um, what the Catholicism holiday says as far as celebrating with the birth of Jesus and everything. So of course, aside from religious holidays centered around, Jesus and the Bible, with Hanukkah, that celebrates in and around the teachings of the Torah. And then with Kwanzaa, I'm not entirely sure, what teachings in scripture come from that as far as celebrations go. And then, of course, you have like with Buddhism and stuff like that. I'm not even sure what type of holiday they rock and roll with. And I'm not sure what exists in the light of Buddha and his celebration and things like that. But I have to imagine that there is some type of intricate idea around gift giving around this holiday vibe. And it's probably not December. I feel like everyone celebrates differently depending on what history says and what writings have been told.
Yeah, and I mean, like, truthfully, in my opinion, I think anyone can celebrate Christmas no matter what you believe in, who you believe in, uh, race, religion, sex, doesn't matter. The point is like the way most people view Christmas today, anyways, is not connected through Catholicism or Christianity. Um, it's not, it's more or less just the idea of um, gift giving and
Like a trendy holiday, right?
yeah, it's like I think at this point in time, I don't think anyone would hate on anyone for celebrating Christmas, even if you aren't necessarily Catholic or Christian, like within the actual root of the holiday itself. Um, and truthfully, the holiday itself wasn't even created necessarily between um, that idea. It was actually kind of started up because of um, Saint Nicholas. Um, so on top of that, it's not even necessarily fully Catholic or Christian. There's other folklore within different countries in Europe that have started the idea of like Santa Claus and um, so on and so forth. We won't get into it. I'd like to have some.
The joy he brings to town, the children, the naughty nice list, etc.
Yeah,
And
the
the
idea
more
of giving
the
gifts.
Santa lore.
Yep, I was gonna say. So truthfully, anyone can celebrate Christmas. It doesn't matter who you are or what you believe in. You can celebrate Christmas. It does not
Oh
matter.
yeah.
So if that's what you like to do, then do it. Because I mean, it's fun. It's a nice holiday. But if you don't, then don't. But I'd like to hear about Kwanzaa. Let us know some facts about Kwanzaa, Zach.
Oh,
I'm actually
absolutely.
really curious.
Plus, I was gonna say you could even celebrate like a Christmas ham, on like the 22nd or something like that. Be like, shout out ham. Um,
Yeah.
Fun facts about Kwanzaa.
Yeah, let's hear
Origin.
them.
Kwanzaa was created in the 1960s by Maulana Karenga, a black nationalist and college professor, to unite and empower the African American community. Now, of course, shout out if we're completely wrong here. I don't even know who Maulana Karenga is. I have not heard the name, but we're getting educated together. Meaning, the name Kwanzaa means first fruits in Swahili. This is all Google, so Google could be wrong, but if it is in fact the case, that sounds incredibly delicious. The holiday length is celebrated from December 26th to January 1st, so it sounds like a day shy of the similarity of Hanukkah. Now I have to imagine if their gift giving is in line with that, or it's just, their, uh, what you would call that, their appreciation or celebration or, religious teachings of it. The principles I see. Kwanzaa is centered around 7 principles, or Nguzo Saba, that represent the history and strength of the African American community. First being Umoja, meaning unity. The second being, oh boy, I'm going to butcher this, Kuchichagulia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose, or Naya. Kumba, creativity, and Imani, faith. Now, thinking about all that, like that's actually really cool. To not only, it sounds like, be forthcoming in what you've appreciated to be like the family that you are that celebrates Kwanzaa, unity, self-determination, collective work, and responsibility. Celebrating the community of course, your ancestors that were, and then what you've, come to bring to fruition today. I think that's really cool. Like purpose, creativity, faith, and then of course, I guess believing in some type of, because I imagine that with Kwanzaa, there's some type of either figurehead or, I guess in this case, they, think about the creator, Karenga. So I don't know who's to say. I guess we'll see what's up here. But in this case, like Hanukkah, they do a candle lighting ceremony. During Kwanzaa,
Okay.
families light a new candle each day in a candle holder called a kinara. The kinara contains 3 green candles, 3 red candles, and 1 black candle. The black
Hmm.
candle represents the people, and each additional candle represents a specific principle. So what we were saying with the umoja, the ujima. The decorations, decorated with symbols of African heritage, such as a woven mat called a mikeka, and the mat is placed on tables, and items like a basket of fruits and vegetables are arranged on it. Okay, so there we were going back with the first fruits. That's interesting.
Okay.
On the last day of Kwanzaa, families often give homemade gifts to each other to avoid over-commercialization. Incredible idea. And
Nice.
celebrations often include storytelling, songs, dance, and a large meal. So, large meal, perfect. The get together, the Thanksgiving, similar. Christmas meal, same way. Hanukkah, I'm sure, has something similar. And then, of course, I love the song and dance vibe, because I know, being a person that is white coming from a white family, we don't often do like the dancey vibe when we come around Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything. But I know when I'm out hanging out with friends like that and, throwing back a few drinks, I love getting groovy and kicking it, with my buddies. I'm a big dancer when it comes to just free flowing and sending the good vibes through the air. But I don't have a lot of friends who are on the same page. They'd rather kick it in the corner or sit down and, chug a couple glasses and just reminisce.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I would enjoy, like, I'm not by any means a phenomenal dancer. But I'll get out in the pit, dude. I'll just start kind of going. Just starts
Especially in
kind
the
of
party.
flowing. Yeah, of course, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, that would actually be really, yeah, I don't know. We never really dance with our family. I feel like that would be something, I don't know, cool to do, fun to do, I should say. It seems like a very cool holiday, especially around this time. Uh, Again, like honing in on that idea of family in general. I think all 3 holidays garner that similar idea. Um, Hanukkah might have a little bit more of a kind of a serious topic into it. Um, Due to another reason, but I think all 3 of them kind of hone in on the idea of celebrating with family and being around the people that you take care of and see hopefully every day, if not every day, keep in contact with. So um, I thought that was pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I like the idea of
See,
the
like,
that last day of Kwanzaa where you're gift giving. And in this case, the gifts that you're giving to each other are homemade. Like I know Google noted in this case to avoid over commercialization. And of course, I feel like that's just a cop out answer as far as being like why everyone's giving homemade gifts. Like I don't think the idea of avoiding, giving money to big conglomerates and corporations should be a reason to make homemade gifts. I think the idea of homemade gifts should be you trying to formulate your gift or whatever you're giving to a specific person because it's, what they like or their preferences or this is what you think of them, in that light. Like I think it is a cooler idea to think about it like that.
yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think homemade gifts in general are always hold so much more meaning, especially like it could be the smallest thing, like just a pair of socks, like wool
Hmm.
socks made or like crocheted socks,
Oh,
whatever it
dude,
might be.
absolutely.
Um, Mittens or gloves as well. Like there's thought and effort put behind them. I mean, you can even make like small little toys, um, whittle something out of wood,
Mm.
um, or you can actually like legitimately like make like a fully functioning thing. And like it's cool to see what people are capable of on that end. And then it's also like, wow, you took the time to like make this for me. There's so much more value to it in that sense rather than just going out and buying something for someone. And
Oh,
while
100%.
yeah, and like while buying stuff for someone could be useful in the sense of like what you're getting, or when like getting gifts for like Zach and I have nieces and nephews, or nieces and a nephew, um, and it's like we always get them something for Christmas each year or whatever they'd like at the time and such. But I don't know. I think making a gift holds so much, like I said, it holds so much more value. And maybe as a little kid you won't understand that, but as I've gotten older, it's like it makes more sense to have something handmade or at least well thought out because then it's that much more appreciated. And most times it lasts 10 times longer or an entire lifetime. Um, and you can keep passing it down if that's the case. That would be really cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the first thought I had when you were thinking of homemade gifts, I think back to Meg's sister back in the day. This is a few years ago now. Was making hand cream for everybody, and it was just a supplement gift
Yeah.
to what they were, being bought a pair of clothes or, something like that. And the cream, was just like, hey, like, I decided to make this and threw it in on top of it as another gift, and that thing ended up, lasting just as long as the other gift would have because it was something where it was like my fingers crack in the wintertime and they get super dry and stuff like that. So just something as simple as a hand cream that was homemade was like, wow, this is sick. Because there's not a lot of like that standard style medicine or ointments or creams or really any remediation, lotion and stuff like that. That isn't just jammed full of hundreds of ingredients that you know could cause problems or whatever. So it's nice to be able to have someone who's making stuff at home with easy to read and understand ingredients, and then also who's willing to actually make it. And we have another buddy who does something similar with hand soap and chapstick. So it's cool to be able to. Yes, I get the idea of the uh, what you were going on with something that can be passed down or something that you can like look back on year to year. Like the wow, I'm at a loss of words for like categorizing that. Um, but being able to get use out of something that's a homemade gift that would have just been like, wow, I didn't expect that. It's just kind of like, oh well, I'm glad you thought of me in that way. It's just one of those. It becomes a more personalized gift almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Entirely, honestly. I don't know. It's just like in the hand cream example, it's like you took the time to like make this and like make it for anyone that you thought that could use this.
Um,
So even though it might be in like a small container or something, whatever, whatever size you got, it's just the fact that you took the time out of your day to do this, to make a very nice gift that I will definitely use because I deal with the same issues. And now I've even gotten to the point where like my fingertips are starting to like split because I'm outside so frequently.
Classic.
Haven't started completely yet, but I can feel like certain areas. So it's like it gets bad, and like only there's only a few things that actually help to like prevent that, and they barely work. But sometimes you get like a home remedy that works amazing, and you never know. Point is, it's like you took the time to do this instead of just making it easy on yourself and going out and buying something quick. Um, so it's like, even if that's the only thing you gave me for Christmas as a small gift, I would be very happy with something like that as opposed to a very small gift that you went out and bought. Um, it's like time and effort put into it, as well as maybe a little shekels here or there to pay for it. Um, but like, it's the time and effort that I see and that I enjoy and respect as well.
But on a real note, hopefully we didn't step on too many toes with our Hanukkah and Kwanzaa name butchering. I know I blew a couple words there, and of course, shout out to everyone who celebrates. Hopefully, everyone can get around some family and spend some good time together. Of course, we're thinking about everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, stay wholesome. Hopefully, you can spread the love, with your family members that you still talk to and that you still want to celebrate with. Ian and I will be doing the same, so we won't be recording next week. We're going to take a break because Christmas just so happens to fall on a Wednesday. It's not like Thanksgiving where we know when it's coming every year, so this will change.
Well, dude, we also have New Year's on a Wednesday.
Oh, that's true. Well, the day of New Year's
But we
isn't
might be
like
able to
a
record on New
huge thing.
Year's.
Stay tuned for the
Right,
potential
yeah, I was gonna
podcasts,
say
everyone.
yep,
But for
but
the
we will
time
be
being,
taking off next week. Um, we will be taking off next week. Look for our episode week of New Year's coming into January there. Keep an eye out for it, posted on Friday. That's probably will be when we hop back into it all. Um, but yeah, again, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, and if you celebrate anything else, just enjoy your holidays. I mean, New Year's is also around the corner as well. So happy New Year's to everyone. By the time you see us again, it will be 2025. So,
great. Now I wish I
um,
had my little blower, to like make that really annoying sound.
so the next time you'll see us, man, I won't see you guys until next year. But no, we hope we hope you all a very safe holiday experience, vacation, whatever you guys are doing. Be safe out there. It gets hectic around these times. Drive safe, fly safe. Any type of traveling, just be safe. And enjoy your holidays. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. Like Zach said, I hope we didn't absolutely butcher and annihilate any of the topics within Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. But please, if you got any information on that stuff, we'd love to learn more about it too. Send us some stuff. Love to read into it. Either way,
Either way,
thank you guys so much for watching today, or listening, whichever, whichever you'd like, whichever. But thank you guys for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Um, as always, if you're watching over on YouTube, check us out over on Spotify. And then currently in the works, we are like one step away from being totally and utterly on Apple Podcasts. We are slowly working our way to posting everything into it. Um, we are very close, probably within 2 weeks or a week's time, we'll have everything up, like depending on when we have the time to do stuff. So keep an eye out. We'll let you guys know once we're finally on and everything, and start checking that stuff out. and hopefully we'll catch some more viewers and listeners. So if you know anyone that is on Apple and such like that, let them know that we're coming. And yeah, keep an eye out for that stuff. But on that note, we'll catch you guys on the flippy flop. So peace out.